So I figured I was going to come on here and maybe do like a short video. I was going to talk about something that happened today with a patient. I work in a skilled nursing facility, and we have resident meetings. So we'll have like a conference meeting with the patient and their family, and then the other care providers as well. And so I was going to come on and talk about what happened because I've been doing this a really long time, and it still touches me deeply when somebody is completely vulnerable and honest and truthful about what their experience is. And this particular patient had her children present, her adult children, and she felt safe enough to say what she needed to say. So what I thought I was gonna do is just talk about the experience, and then I felt like maybe I should pull one of the Lindy Andrews cards, because I do like to use this power deck. It's very, I used it all throughout my schooling, and I use it daily even still, because it's powerful wisdom to be remembered, to keep me and whoever uses it aware of the fact that this life we're living, it's complex. We're in charge of ourselves in a sense. Like, the only thing we have control over is maybe ourselves, but even that, life happens. Like, things happen. People get sick, people get ill, people get injured, heaven forbid, but people die. We're all actively dying because we can't live forever. Nor would I want to live forever. Not in this body. Not forever. No, I just don't want. It's just not my thing. So I feel like there's always this conscious, and maybe it's because I'm a double Scorpio, sun and moon, and I'm a Pisces rising, but I feel like I'm constantly looking at death and transformation. And then I work with a population that they're coming to me with the most traumatic illnesses, and some of them are dying, like actively, really dying. And sometimes I can guide them through that, as much as I can, perspective and stuff. But anyways, that's what this is going to be about, because this patient spoke with such vulnerability today that, oh my word, my heart was so touched. And it gave me insight and awareness into like how I do my therapy, and maybe some, anyways, we'll talk about it. So the card I pulled today is this, and this is the unknown. So if you look at that. Oh my gosh, and the camera's moving because the fan is moving the stand that it's on. This wouldn't be a Janine video unless something was going on that was kind of unexpected. Okay, so I'm learning to just flow with that. Okay, but anyways, this card is number 1, unknown. It's in the center of the sacred wheel, so it's the right smack in the middle. Okay, we are all pilgrims on the path to the unknown. We sit in awe and wonder at the architecture of power. Ripen the receptive void within you, like a womb accepting a seed. Open yourself to the unknowable, to what is unfamiliar to you, so that the energy of what you need in order to be whole can flow into you. Let me read it again. Open yourself to the unknowable, to what is unfamiliar to you, so that the energy of what you need in order to be whole can flow into you. When you think of yourself as an entity separate from power, you will obstruct the current, and power will defeat you. Identify the form of power you want, what you want to accomplish, build, create, or be, and become that, so that there is no separating you. There's just many layers to this message of the unknown. So you could go back and listen to the words and see how it resonates with you. But when I was just speaking about the patient and I pulled this card, I thought, oh, how perfect. Because what the patient said, we were talking about, she's in a skilled nursing facility. She had, something that deters her from going home and being independent. She needs assistance. At least a couple of people to help her, like physically to move, to go to the bathroom, things like that. So it's not a small feat. This is life altering. This is a highly functioning individual who had an incredibly amazing career and had a stroke. Unexpected, unplanned for, obviously. I mean, nobody plans for that. Thankfully, she had quick care, but it left one side of her body completely paralyzed, or I would say not much movement, a little bit of movement, so a little bit of walking, but enough that she requires assistance. So we were having her family meeting and she said, oh my gosh, it was so touching because she got very emotional, and she asked a hard question about what's going to happen for me, what are my options, what's going to happen. And in doing that, this patient has a very witty sense of humor and way of talking about the world and trying to make light of things. And so her question was answered, therapy addressed it, tried to talk about different possibilities for her. And then she said at some point, I use humor to relay messages, but I hope that you all know the severity of what I'm experiencing. And I knew in that moment there was nothing I could say or do, no matter how much progress she's made. There's nothing I could say or do that would change for her anything that was going on in her life. I couldn't help her to see a different perspective. I couldn't help her to realize that there are other possibilities. I couldn't do any of that for her. I realized I couldn't change anything for her. And it's not my job to make her feel better. But usually I'm pretty good about being able to give people perspective and see the silver lining and guide them towards what could be solutions, resolutions, acceptance. And in this moment, it was very clear to me, there was nothing I could say to or do that was going to change the fact that she was having this experience. And she even commented to one of her children, the persons that her child said to her, well, if you look at the fact that we're heading towards such and such. And the patient said, well, if I were sitting where you're sitting, I would say the same thing to me. And I thought, wow, oh man, wow, such a poignant moment of just my head, excuse the swearing, but holy shit, this is hard stuff. This is hard stuff. It's hard stuff. Life altering, life changing, hardship, heartache, relationship changing, devastating, independence depleting, rock you to your core kind of stuff. That's what this patient was sharing. And she was so eloquent in the way she said it. And it really touched my heart. It really touched my heart. And I also know all I could do is hold space for her. I can just show up, offer her what I have, help her to see wherever she's at, the progress she's made, and also keep her forward, looking forward and forward thinking towards her goal. And I feel like That's a very integral part of therapy, is being able to keep somebody focused on the possibility for the end result, all the while not knowing the unknown, which is what this patient was talking about. What's it going to look like? Where am I going to go? Am I going to have to live here forever in this little room? Like, what? The unknown. For her, it showed up. For her, it showed up. The unknown was, my whole life has changed. And I'm in this alone. Even though I have support and I have love and all that, I'm in this alone because I'm having the experience. Woo! Some heavy stuff, but that's exactly what happened today. And I'm sharing it because I think maybe if we all remember that everybody's going through their own experience of whatever their unknown is, which may be creating certain ways of how they look and how they act and how they behave, and maybe giving a little bit of compassion. I'm not saying give them a free pass for being abusive, but not at all. But I'm just saying maybe there's something about just like, okay, I don't know what you're going through. Then I'm just gonna hold space for you to heal. And I'm not gonna take it in as my problem or my burden or I did something. I'm just gonna hold space for you. Because that's what I can do. As a decent human being, I can go, okay, this is yours, but I can hold space. And that's what I've got. That's what I've got to offer. So we offer what we have. If you don't have that reserve in yourself and you don't have enough to send out support to someone else or love or whatever, that's okay too. That's okay too. At some point in your life, hopefully you're going to get to that point where you're like, I can start giving back. Yeah. So anyways, that's my story for today. It's a little heavy and I'm sorry, but you know what? This is the reality. This is what people are going through. And I'm just a witness. I'm just a witness, and I'm just sharing what I've witnessed. So I wish you well, and I hope good health, good wellness, happy mental health, happy physical body, and healthy physical body. And I'll see you next time. Bye.